Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel. Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Okay, there's a lot happening here in Aries. So keep your head on. A lot of heat is happening out here. Okay, so we're going to start with the full moon in Libra, which is opposite of Aries. And it's called the pink moon. It'll be at 12 degrees of Libra, and it will be Pacific Standard Time, 7:11 p.m. Okay? This is fiery cardinal energy, leadership energy, initiation energy. Okay, the energy is hot, forward moving, and aggressive. So beware. Okay, you may feel the heat already. The month starts out with the sun in Aries and Mars meeting Neptune and Saturn in Aries this month as well. Okay, the new moon on the 17th is 27 degrees of Aries at 4:51 a.m. and it forms a powerful stellium. And this is just a parade of planets in the sign of Aries, somewhere in one of your houses. Just depend on where the rising sign is for you. Okay, so we have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, the Sun, Moon, and the wounded healer, Chiron, in Aries as well, conjuncting Aries. So there's a lot to unpack here in your chart, but just note that there is an area of concentrated energy somewhere in your chart in one of the houses. And where that is for you is going to be that intensity, okay? The energy is intense. You know, you could have arguments about different things depending on where it is, because Aries and Mars, okay, they take action first and think later, okay? So they can be impulsive. So just beware of any impulsivity that you may have. Try to think about it before you know, put it out there, because during this time, what you put out, you can't take back, you know? That's the thing. But this is all about growth, okay? Maturity, all right? So just so you know, this is happening for you and not just to you, okay? And we all are experiencing this simultaneously. You know, it just depends on where this stellium is in your chart, okay? So let's get going and talk about the rising signs and where this stellium is going to be in your chart. All right? See you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Aries rising collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Okay, so in my intro, I spoke about a parade of planets that are sitting in the sign of Aries. And in this case, Aries rising, it is going to be in your first house, your house of how you look, your appearance, how you think, how other people see you. And this is having a intense effect on your personality and your personal style, okay? Also your values as well. So this full moon that is happening in the sign of Libra, which is a pink moon, is squaring Jupiter in Cancer on the 1st. Okay, so we have a full moon on the 1st, and we have this square with Jupiter in Cancer. And this is affecting your 7th house and your 4th house. Okay, your 7th house is about your relationships, business, partnerships, exes, legal matters, and family as well. One on one relationships are found here as well. Okay, and your 4th house is about your private life, your family, your home, your security, and safety. So here on the 1st, your relationships, agreements, and your one-on-one connections are in the spotlight right now, okay? And that's just with the full moon. We have not yet touched on the stellium that is happening in Aries, okay? And this is happening in your 1st house. Okay, so your relationships may be tested, or negotiations may be necessary, or you may need to rebalance your priorities within your relationships, okay? Tensions are amplified between partnership needs and home family needs, okay? Balance is necessary. That's what Libra is all about, balance and harmony. You may experience emotional overreach because of Jupiter part in this. And optimism, okay, you may be overly optimistic, or you may not have clear boundaries. So there are some issues there that is being highlighted with this full moon. And of course, let go of things that are no longer serving you. Okay, on the 3rd, we have Venus in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And this is a square to Jupiter in Cancer again. This is your 1st house, the sun in Aries. And the 4th house, your private life, your home of family, your heritage, ancestry, and family. Okay? You may experience a strong pull, because this is a square, and this is meant for growth, okay? And this is between your self-assertiveness and your emotional security needs, okay? You may feel confident, enthusiastic, very ambitious because of this Aries energy. And you may have the tendency to overdo, overpromise, or overact. That's some of the Jupiter energy there, before fully considering your home, your family, or your private life consequences. Okay? So just be aware of what's happening with the sun in Aries and this square with Jupiter in Cancer in your 4th house. Okay? So on the 9th, we're going to move to Mars, your ruler, moving into your sign, and this is happening in your 1st house. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Psst. Ooh, hot, hot. Your personal drive, confidence, and your urgency to act is at an all-time high here, okay? You may be more assertive, visible, but you may find yourself more impulsive, and quicker to anger. It's getting hot. All right, so try to keep your head clear, okay? Try to keep a clear head, because this is some intense energy that's happening, and we have conjunctions, and we have Uranus sitting in there as well, which is sudden changes can occur for better or for worse, whichever way. So this is a time to stop and reassess things, especially in your first house about you. Okay, Aries rising, this is all about yourself, and, you know, becoming a better version of who you are. All right, so first of all, you got to recognize it. And then, second, you have to act in ways that is going to what do I want to say? You're hot-headed, so you want to think things through. We also have Mercury, a part of this stellium in your first house. All of the planets are moving forward, so that means that things are going to be moving rather quickly, faster. Okay? Whatever is going on in your life, things are speeding up here. Okay, so let's see. Did I say on the 12th? No, I was talking about the 9th, but we're moving into the 12th. We have Mars in the sign of Aries, which is your sign, conjuncting Neptune. Okay, and this is in your first house. Now, with Neptune, it's always about boundaries, setting boundaries, and being in the fog. Neptune is good at spirituality, is good at being creative. Whatever creativity you have, it brings out the best parts of that. However, Neptune will also put you in a fog when you are looking at things in practicality. Okay, this is more of a creative, deep, spiritual connection is what Neptune is all about. Okay, so you may feel unusually inspired, magnetic, creative, and spiritually open, but you may also be less clear, more drained, or prone to confusion concerning your direction. Okay, so here you just want to give yourself a rest, or do something creative, or yoga, but Aries rising, I don't know how you can be still and just allow things to happen. That'll be a part of your evolution because you are quick to act, okay? And again, as I said before, you act first and think later. So this is a time where you can put on your thinking cap and start to act accordingly instead of aggressively or impulsively. Okay? So, anyway, we have on the 15th, we have Mercury moving into Aries, and this again is in your first house, and Mercury is all about communication. Okay? This is the planet of communication. So you may express yourself in a bold and decisive way. That's part of the Aries nature. You may feel mentally energized with faster reactions and stronger urges to act on your ideas. This can be a good time to introduce yourself, update your image, or have important conversations about your life direction. Okay? On the 16th, we have Mars in Aries sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. Wait a minute. Did I want to? No. I'm going to pass up on this one because we have a square with Pluto in a couple of weeks here. So I'm going to move on to Mars in Aries conjuncting Saturn because we already know that Mars well, not Mars, but Saturn and Neptune are both in the sign of Aries, so they're both in your first house. And Mars in Aries conjuncting Saturn here, Saturn is trying to help you stay grounded, take things a step at a time instead of rushing through and not thinking before you act. Okay, but this is happening. I did say the 16th. We have the Mars and Aries conjunct Saturn in your first house. So you may feel more tense, guarded, or self critical than usual. And that's part of the Saturn theme here. Saturn is can be self critical, okay? Because you are meant to do what's right when Saturn is involved, okay? Important projects may need to be approached in a methodical, step by step way. You may experience friction with authority, deadlines, or just your own impatience because Saturn, makes you wait. It delays things so you can't move forward as fast as you would normally do, Aries rising. You may find yourself turning your anger into endurance, focus, or experience a burst of disciplined effort. And that's part of the Saturn way. So if you feel that, go with the flow because Saturn is here to help you ground and release some of that anxiousness or the impatience. Okay? So on the 17th, we have a new moon at 27 degrees of Aries, and this again is happening in your first house. Now, I want to stress that with this, with the degrees in any of these areas of life, the closer the degrees you have in your chart to what is being shown here through this forecast is how close you will experience it. If it's far away, then you may not, feel a whole lot from it. But as, maybe you will later on in the year or not. Okay? So just so you know, the degrees mean something, and that will tell you, if you knew what degrees are in your chart, you'll be able to be more clear on how much of this energy that is building up will be affecting you. So if it's 27 degrees, anything within 5 degrees plus, 5 degrees minus will have an effect on you where you will notice it. Okay? So on the 17th, this is where we have the stellium happening. Okay, the new moon conjuncts Chiron, which is the wounded healer. This is all about your how you feel about yourself and your self-esteem. So that is being challenged here for growth. We have Mercury conjuncted Neptune here. We have the Sun, Moon, and Chiron conjuncting as well. We have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, Saturn forming a powerful stellium in your sign, Aries rising. Okay, so this is a lot of upheaval that is happening, change that is occurring within your own psyche, your personality, the way you look, how you are viewed. There could be there are some changes that you are manifesting for yourself with this stellium and these conjunctions that are sitting here in your first house for you to take advantage of. Okay, so on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Taurus, which is like a relief from this Aries energy. Okay, and this is happening in your second house, and this is your house of finances, what you value, your self worth, your possessions, your shared finances as well. Okay? So, here we go. You may have a strong need for stability, and that's part of the Taurus energy here, comfort and financial security. You may have the urge to build your wealth slowly but steadily, and you value quality as well. You may also connect yourself with your self worth and what you own or earn, all right? But that is, your values are changing as well, because what's happening in the first house is connected to, your self-worth and your values. So all of that is going through a overhaul here, all right? So now, some of you it may be an intense time for you, but try to be patient with yourself, okay? And you can pamper yourself, male or female. Give more to yourself during this time. Allow your body to feel safe, okay? Because this can make you feel very uncomfortable, very disconnected. So, the way to feel safe is to trust your body, your mind, your spirit, and give back to yourself so that your body can protect you. Okay? All right, so on the 23rd, we have Venus in Taurus, and this is conjuncting Uranus in your second house. Now, you may experience sudden changes around money, values, self-worth. Your self, Uranus is about sudden changes, okay, and it's about freedom and having your or being more authentic about yourself, your life, okay, and the things around you. All right, so this can bring surprises in spending, income, possessions, or a shift within what you want to invest in personally or financially. Okay, so with Taurus being here, Taurus is a fixed sign, so it really takes things slow and methodically. So it's not like you're going to be just impulsively handling your business here. All right, so on the 25th, we have the Sun in Taurus, and it squares Pluto in Aquarius. And this is happening in your second house of finances and your 11th house of friendship groups, organizations, co-workers, your hopes and wishes, and also your house of luck is here in your 11th house. Okay, so you may experience a shift in your friend group or community role, because Pluto in Aquarius is about freedom and transformation, right? So you may expose hidden tensions or control issues Your money or resources may become tied to your social obligations, teamwork, or a shared goal. You may feel pushed to update your values so they align with your evolving future directions. So, this is a big thing with Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius is home in the 11th house anyway, and that is about freedom of the population. Okay, so this is about the collective. And with the collective in the 11th house, your goals, your values will be transformed, okay? Because that's what Pluto does. So you may experience a strong urge to break free from old patterns, even if change feels uncomfortable. Okay, and then we have on the 25th, Uranus is moving for good into the sign of Gemini. And this is happening in your third house. So Uranus is, the planet of sudden changes, as I said before. And your third house is about communication. It's about your local neighborhood, your siblings, transportation, short trips, old friends, and early education as well. So here, because Uranus is that sudden spark of electric power, it shows up very quickly and it happens fast. Okay? So new ideas show up fast, often in unusual ways, because that's the Uranian way. Your communication style may become more direct, experimental, or unpredictable. You may change how you study, write, use social media, or gather information. Your life can get busier or less stable with shifts involving your neighbors, your siblings, or your immediate surroundings. Okay, but that's like a breath of fresh air for you because you have all this heaviness going on in your first house. This energy is something that has never happened in our lifetime because we have Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries right now. So this big stellium is something new to all of us. And how it will turn out for you remains to be seen, but stay positive, give to yourself, pamper your body, and bring more love into your life. Okay? So this is your forecast for April 2026. And until next time, bye for now.